City Skylines. Is it worth a buy? Let's read. City Skylines is a modern take on the classic city simulation. The game introduces new gameplay elements to realise the thrill and hardship of creating and maintaining a real city, whilst expanding on some well-established tropes of the city building experience. I'm not going to say so what is it, guys, because it's obvious what this is. This is another sim. It's another big city sim, and we've had a lot of them, and some of them have been awful. SimCity Online, hi. When this first got announced, I thought, yeah, I'm not really that interested in it. It wasn't something that kind of caught my eye, although the price did. I was looking at the price of this and thinking, hang on a minute, it must be shit, because it's only $22.99. That means they probably don't have faith in the product, because you kind of get cynical about things. But I got a copy sent to me, not by the developers, by HTAB, a long-standing supporter. I started playing it, and I can't put it down. I'm just loving it. It's absolutely fucking great. So, what you do in this is you play the mayor of the town or city that you want to name whatever you want. You can just name everything. You can rename every little house in the game if you want to. So I renamed my city Boobsville. It's a nice name. I'd live in Boobsville if it existed. Damn right I would. So you set out your roads, you come off the freeway or motorway and with the road system, and then you start planning out, and you have got to plan these things out very well, because at the beginning it doesn't really matter, but as you grow your city, if you fucked up the road system like what I did, you're going to have traffic chaos everywhere like what I did. You can fix it with some bulldozers and some unhappy residents, but it does pay to get it all set out properly at the beginning. And there's a lot to think about, because when you put down your roads, you've got to then decide what is allowed to build in these zones. You are creating zones that can be inhabited by people as residents, industry, commercial, office, things like that. So you have to kind of have a bit of a think about where you're going to put stuff. I mean, this is the city that I'm making at the moment, and I've got all my industrial off to the east near the river where all the pollution is, so we kill all the swans and stuff and ducks, and we have the main residential area in the middle, and then industrial on the far west side as well. When I started playing this, I got me square of land that you're allowed to build in, and then outside the square you can't build in that. And my son has SimCity Online, so I kind of thought, oh, here we go. No doubt it'll be a DLC to get other bits of land or something like that. But after a little bit of play, a plot of land came up for sale, and I was able to choose another plot of land the same size as the one I have, which is probably about the same size as the plot you get in SimCity Online. And I was able to just expand, and you can just use the whole map, and it's just amazing. It's just so nice to be able to do that in a game. And anyway, so I then started to build a few houses and shops and industry, and then I had to get electricity to them, so I made a wind generator and wired that up. Then I had to get water, so I put down a pumping station and a sewage station, and you even have to make sure you put them at the right point of the river. Obviously you want your sewage downstream from your water, or you're going to contaminate everybody with sewage. And then you run the pipes into the houses, which is dead easy to do. It's just really, really easy. And then you just watch it grow. Then you add fire, then you add, I don't mean fire as in burn everything down, you add like a fire department, you add a police department, you put in elementary schools, then you put in high schools, then you put in university, then you build offices, then you expand it even more, then you upgrade your roads a bit, and then your money starts to roll in, and you get access to new buildings. There's shitloads of achievements, there's shitloads of new stuff that you can put in. It's got a whole access to the Steam Workshop, which is just full of new improved buildings. And it just, when you think you're somewhere near the heart of the game, a whole new load of stuff opens up, and you think, fuck me, rigid. I haven't even scratched the surface of this. I mean, for example, you can make districts. You can allocate areas as districts by grabbing the paint tool, and it's so easy to use. And it's the same as when you're putting down zones. You just choose the size brush and just paint. If you want all this to be industrial, you just paint the yellow. Yellow is industrial, and so industrial buildings will just start springing up there. It's just fucking so easy to use. The interface is phenomenally good. So as I was saying, you can make districts, and then in these districts you can set policies. So you name the district, of course, and I've named my district here Bell End View, and the reason it's called Bell End View, of course, is because, well, of the design of it. And I live there. I'm the only house there. Mac's house lives in Bell End View on the end of a penis. And that's, hey, don't judge me. That's what I want. I don't want any fucker living next to me. I'm living there by myself. I'm surrounded by parks. No one else is allowed in. And I wake up on a morning and do fuck all because I'm a rich bastard sitting there. And if I just want to walk around the park, I can. And in my district, it's the only district in the whole of my world where you can actually smoke drugs. I mean, there's a bit recreational use of drugs. Yes, you can do that in my district. Also, I get free smoke alarms, I get free public transport, and all the rest of it. So, yeah, that's where I live. And all the other can go and live over there. I've also got an area where all the scruffy little bastards live. And before you start saying, "Oh, Mac, you snob," no, I'm talking about the lazy. It's not the people who, for no fault of their own, are hard up. No, I've got nothing against people like that. I've been there myself. But a bar of soap is fucking not expensive. You know what I'm saying? I'm on about the, you see the fuckers who go to the shops in their fucking pajamas. The lazy bastards that get out of bed and they'll go, "We've got no fucking milk. I'll just nip down the fucking shop and get some. I'll go in me fucking pajamas because I'm so fucking fat and fucking lazy and I don't give a flying fuck about it." And so they'll get up, and it's usually the women. I don't know what. I've never yet seen a guy in his pajamas yet. It's always fucking slappers, and they'll walk down the fucking shop in their flea-bitten, stinky, bed-bug-ridden, fucking awful pajama bottoms, going into the shop where I buy my fucking food with their fucking scruffy ass fucking you lazy cunt. Sorry. It's one of my pet hates. These lazy fucking scrubbers who can't even be bothered to get their fucking clothes on in a wash before they go outside. They're fucking lazy. But yeah, I'm making an area for them, and I'm going to put all the industrial waste there. I'm putting a landfill site there. I'm putting all the pollution there. It's going to be fucking awful to live there, and the cunts deserve it. But other than that, this game is great. You alter the taxes. You can tax different districts. You can build parks around certain areas to increase the land value, and then tax the cunts to the hilt, but they don't mind because they're all rich anyway. And just grow your city like that, then your skyscrapers start to grow. But you know what I like the best about this game? It is a brilliant de-stressing game. It is so, I mean, I've played it for only 5.3 hours, but I actually thought I'd only played it for an hour and a half. That's how fast time went by playing this. This is my new go-to get stress relief game. It's just amazing. $22.99, guys. What an amazing price for this game. I mean, when you look at the greed of SimCity Online and then you play something like this, it's absolutely a breath of fresh air. This game is also another great example of the superiority of PCs. You're never going to get a game like this on the consoles because you couldn't actually control it using a controller. You need a mouse for this. It's just so fluid the way it plays. It runs fantastic on my machine. It's an i7 GTX 770. Check the specs before you actually try to play this, but as the city's expanding, it's just so satisfying. You set up bus routes, you set up trains, bring in airports. I haven't even touched the surface with it, guys, but I know a good game when I see one. It does have its bugs, but you know, at the end of the day, what game doesn't? But it doesn't really detract from the gameplay. I'm sure most of them will get ironed out over the coming weeks as patches become available. But to be honest, the Steam Workshop content more than makes up for any shortfallings in the game. If you are even the slightest bit interested in building games or simulators, buy this. It is the best of its type ever made, and that's coming from me, the most critical person probably on the internet. And it's just really is worth a buy, and the developers have done a cracking job. There is a DLC which did piss us off. It's kind of not a DLC, it's a deluxe edition where you get some really important buildings like the Arc de Triomphe, the Eiffel Tower. Although they're French, they're not important buildings. Where's fucking Big Ben? You know that, but to be honest, even if you bought the deluxe edition, it's only $29.99, which is a full price game. This is also a good example of why Off-World Trading Company didn't get the thumbs up from me. You see, that's more expensive than this, but is nowhere near as deep as this. It may be when it's finished, and it's still a great game in its own right, but this, for me, is what a true game should be. The price is right, the content is right, the gameplay is right, the value is right. It is. If I could give it 10 thumbs up, I would. So Cities Skyline, for me, is definitely worth a buy. If you miss this, you're missing a fabulous game. If you would like to see me actually learning to play these games before I do the review, I have over 1,000 videos on my sister channel, which is called Max Corner. It has all sorts of playthroughs of pretty much every type of game that's ever been released. Platformers, horror games, simulators, space games, survival games, you name it, it's on there. It's been going for a couple of years now, and like I say, it has over 1,000 videos. So if you want to go and have a look at what I've got on there, just click the link here.